Taylor Swift fans are the latest group to come up against Ticketmaster. I am sure you've probably seen the headlines. It's been pretty covered today that Taylor Swift has basically broken Ticketmaster. Her most recent, or her upcoming tour for her most recent album, um, it went on sale today. It went on pre-sale, and the queues. I saw screenshots where people were in the thousands in the queues. Tickets were extremely expensive. Pre-sale tickets basically sold out. I mean, absolutely, just an absolute disaster. And I mean, if you've watched videos on this channel before, you know that I don't like Ticketmaster. I have had many problems with Ticketmaster. I think everyone that has ever used Ticketmaster has had a problem with Ticketmaster. It's a scam. They are a scummy company who has completely monopolized control over the entire live music industry. And it's a major, major problem. It's really bad. I mean, Ticketmaster merged with Live Nation, so Live Nation facilitates the tour, and Ticketmaster sells all the tickets for the tour. That's not good. There are very few venues that are outside of Ticketmaster's network. Every other, like all the big venues, all the big stadiums, everything like that, they have to use Ticketmaster. They don't have a choice. The small, really small venues, like tiny, tiny venues, do not use Ticketmaster, but really all the big ones, all the medium ones, basically everything uses Ticketmaster. So I've seen a lot of outrage from Taylor Swift fans, and I feel you. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but let's be real. She's the biggest musician in the world right now. She held all 10 spots in the top 10 on the Billboard charts. She is just gargantuan. Her success is unparalleled. I mean, it's going to be a very successful tour. She's going to make millions upon millions of dollars, and fans are going to suffer through this nightmare that is Ticketmaster, and Taylor Swift is going to make her millions either way. Now, I'm not just singling out Taylor Swift. Every musician is in this situation, and for small musicians, there's not really anything they can do. I mean, they can't afford to take the loss in revenue to maybe go against Ticketmaster. Big musicians like Taylor Swift and the others could absolutely make a stand against Ticketmaster if they really wanted to. I'm sure there are contracts and there are agents and things that would stop them from doing so, but if they really wanted to, they could make a stand against Ticketmaster. I wish that Taylor Swift would, but it's not going to happen. She's not going to pass up that much money. And, it is what it is. But I think that, we've seen these stories break multiple times this year. I covered the Bruce Springsteen incident where his tickets were going for thousands of dollars. Blink-182 is doing their comeback tour with Tom DeLonge. Those tickets were going over $1,000. I ran into trouble with Ticketmaster buying tickets to see Muse. The Chicago show, it's opening night. That is absolutely, it was wild trying to get tickets for that. It was an absolute nightmare. I was able to get tickets for a reasonable price, but it was just crazy. The live ticketing, I was literally watching prices change like in real time, and it was wild. The live ticketing system is just an absolute disaster. The dynamic pricing, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I have read that artists have to opt in or out for it. I'm going to do some more research as far as what would incentivize them to do dynamic pricing. Because theoretically, you would think it would stop scalpers, but it doesn't. It just makes it harder for fans to get tickets. So, so I do feel bad for all the Swifties out there. I think that Ticketmaster might be in some hot water for a bit, though, because this is a very, very big tour. This is going to be very successful, very big deal. And people are very angry. I mean, if you go and look on social media, they are very angry. There's stories on all the major websites like CNN, stuff like that, that are talking about this, and Ticketmaster has issued a few statements defending themselves. We've now seen members of Congress call for Ticketmaster and Live Nation to be broken up, which I absolutely agree with. Monopolies are bad for any business. They're very bad for the live music industry. Um, this company exists to milk music fans. That's all it is. I mean, what happened to the days of this is an event, fixed ticket prices for different seats, and then there are other measures you can take to prevent scalpers and bots. I mean, you can't really. There's not much you can do to prevent a scalper if it's a real account. If a person has a Ticketmaster account and they buy a ticket and they want to mark it up, fine, it's gonna probably happen. But the bots, they can combat the bots. They need to put more verification systems in place, more identification requirements, that sort of thing for buying the tickets. I mean, it's a problem that is difficult, but this dynamic pricing is killing people. It's terrible. Um, I, we all hate it. I absolutely despise it. I want to be able to go and see musicians perform live. It's an important part of music for me. I love music. That's why I do this channel. And an important part of that process is going and seeing bands live. It's so much fun to see a band live. And it's an incredible experience, and it's an experience that you don't really forget if it's a good one. And so I want it to be accessible for people. I understand that obviously, there's a lot of money that goes into a tour. Artists need to make money, the crew needs to make money. I get that. I think that having different tiered pricing is fine. You're going to have super fans that are going to pay for VIP, and you're going to have casual fans that are okay with nosebleed, and that's fine. It's this dynamic pricing nonsense from the monopoly that is Ticketmaster and Live Nation that has to stop. It has to. There is no reason that a nosebleed seat at like a hockey arena should cost $100 to $200 to $300 for any musician. That's insane. That's an insane amount of money for a very horrible view and a very crappy seat. Let's be real. So, Taylor Swift fans are just the latest fans that are going to come up against Ticketmaster. And we're not going to see this stop. Every time a major musician announces a tour, we're going to see Ticketmaster step in and muck things up for everyone. So I want to know in the comments about your guys' Ticketmaster horror stories. How do you feel about Ticketmaster? How do you feel about the monopoly between Ticketmaster and Live Nation? Do you think dynamic pricing needs to stop? Do you think Ticketmaster needs to be broken up? I mean, I want to know what you guys think. Definitely drop a comment below. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up for the video. Subscribe. We are constantly growing. We're up to 327 subscribers, which is amazing. As always, I've got more content planned, trying to get at least one video out every week. So I will definitely be back next week. Should have another video coming before that as well. So until the next video, guys.